Oh, hello. Goodness gracious. The fun of live video. There we go. How are y'all doing? How's your December coming along? Good, I hope. All right. Let's see. Haven't done anything with the room, as you can see. I haven't unboxed that figure I started opening up last week. Not going to get to it this week either. I really need to have room for it before I take it out of the box. So let's see, what did I watch? I was watching The Umbrella Academy. I've watched the first 2 seasons of that. I don't think there's a third season yet. It's interesting. It's based off of a Dark Horse Comics story. You're either going to like it or you're not. It's what it is, truthfully. It's not bad. It's not great. It's neither here nor there, really. Nothing very. I don't know. Either you're going to like it or you're not. That's the absolute truth of it. Um, I saw 2 movies this week. I went and seen Look Up with Leonardo DiCaprio, Meryl Streep, Jennifer Lawrence. Um, the movie was pretty good. I think it's streaming now on Netflix, which is a crying shame for the theaters. There's just so many people that would rather just stay home than go out to the movies. I really think this is a problem for these production houses to just continual streaming stuff. When I went to the movies on first night for the 2 movies I saw this week, uh, there wasn't many seats sold at all. And when I went to the movie theater on Friday night, like the entire theater was virtually vacant. It's just it's not good. It really isn't. If they can't put butts in the seats, they're going to go out of business. So maybe many of you are fine with that and enjoy the convenience of watching it on your cell phone, or maybe you have a big screen TV at your house or on your computer that you're comfortable with watching it on. Maybe you're fine with that. Maybe you can get all the experience that you need just by enjoying the story and the action in something you're comfortable with. But I really enjoy the full experience. The giant screen, I mean, the immersion sound, the audience feel of people I have no idea who they are and having no idea whether they're going to respond favorably or negatively to any particular scene. So I enjoy that. I enjoy the movie experience, actually going to the cinema. But it's just sad knowing that pretty much sometimes now, same day that the movie's released in the theater, it's available to watch online. It's just a crying shame. So yeah, Look Up. It's kind of an opinion of how things are in the world right now. It says, based on a true story that hasn't happened yet, or something to that effect, is their tagline for the movie. And essentially, these 2 astronomers discover a comet. And when they project the travel path, the path of this comet, they determine that it's going to smash into the Earth in 6 months, 14 days, and so many hours. And they try to warn the world. So they contact, of course, NASA and the Pentagon, and they get a seat with the president. And unfortunately, it conflicts with the midterm elections. So, uh, they literally just have the media and the government pretty much tell the people that there's no comet coming at all. And that's why they're like saying, look up. And so they're totally oblivious. They just believe whatever the news tells them, believes what their government officials tell them, believe what their cell phone tells them. They have a character in there that's kind of like a Elon Musk or a Steve Jobs style character. And, they only believe what they're being told by the media or their cell phone or the government instead of looking up. This is quite an interesting story. Um, I don't think I've seen that type of a story told before, and I really appreciated that new look, a new story, more or less. Too many times when you go to the theater, you're seeing the same story just wrung out, different setting, different characters, same story. This one definitely was a different story. The other movie I went to see was Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. I've never seen any version of West Side Story. I've never seen any play, any TV adaptation. I didn't know anything about the movie or the show. I recognized a lot of the songs, obviously, and I really enjoyed it. The end of the movie was dedicated to Dad. So I don't know if that's Spielberg dedicating it to his father. I don't know. It just says to Dad. It's a Steven Spielberg film. I thought it was done very well. And again, I had no knowledge of the story at all. So I really enjoyed it. It was a film adaptation of the West Side Story, which I think was a play originally, right? And it was done really well. The singing was great. The dancing was amazing. The location was shots were amazing. The prop guys did great jobs. The set designers built some unbelievable, amazing sets. The costumes were amazing. There were some lighting issues that kind of irritated me, and I don't know if it was done during filming or whether it was done in post to try to create an effect or a mood. But I wasn't enjoying it. And I thought there was too many times where the camera appeared to be a handheld camera that they were filming with, and I didn't appreciate that either. So the handheld camera thing almost to me was a rookie mistake, and Spielberg should have been way beyond that. A lot of times, what they'll do is they'll film larger than what they need so they can crop it out and stabilize it. And so there's really no need for a shaky scene that they're filming. That's just poor. That's really terrible. And the lighting, like I said, I don't know if it was the um, guy in charge of lighting or whether it was a post effect that they said make the lighting look like this in these particular scenes. But I didn't like it at all. I didn't like that at all. But the way the actors delivered their um, lines, the emotion that was involved, the like I said, the dancing and the singing. Oh, jeez, what a great show! And of course, I had no idea what the ending was, so I really was really sucked into the whole thing with it. It is just like it is if you were going to a play to see it. It's a dancing, singing musical. So if you're not interested in that, of course you're not going to go see it. But again, I've never saw it at all. I had no idea even really what it was about. So I figured, what the hell? Let's get some culture. Let's see something I might really enjoy, and I did. I really enjoyed it. I would actually probably watch that again, to tell you the truth. It was a really interesting story, very interesting story, and you get to see a flashback to 1950s life. So it wasn't a 2022 or 2021 version of West Side Story. It was 1953 or whatever. I couldn't tell you how true they were to the lines, if they changed anything, but I don't believe that they did. But I have nothing to go that on, nothing to go with that on, except that it just seemed like something that would have been telling a 1950s story. It didn't seem like they were trying to give any political message in it. If you're familiar with West Side Story, you know there's a huge message in it anyhow. Really, there is many messages in it. And I believe that they all came from the original story. It just doesn't seem like anything that they put in there artificially. It didn't feel artificial to me, you know. But again, I've never seen a West Side Story, so I couldn't tell you if they did or not. I'd be curious to know what you guys say about that, or whether or not they had embellished upon it to update it or to put a different message into it. So I think the message was very clear. What was in the several messages that were in the movie, and it was definitely the way times were back then. Very interesting movie. Really enjoyed that. Um, News is on the Corvette now that I'm real close to getting the phone call to put my deposit down and do my build. So the allocations for December have been allotted, if you will, to the number of people whose time it was to get that phone call and to build their Corvette and put their deposit down. And I'm like 20 people close to the last person that was contacted. And what can happen is, out of this group of people that they contacted, if one or two or 20 of them, for instance, decide to pass on it for any number of reasons, because those that are having their Corvette designed and built now would probably get it 1st of February. And they may decide that they don't want to take a delivery of a Corvette on the 1st of February because it's a sports car and they don't want to get it wet, more or less, or they are buying the Z51 package, which doesn't come with all season tires, but only comes with, summer only tires. And maybe they might want to say, just call me in 2 months. Can you give me 2 months? And they'll do that. They'll push you back and then call the next person online. So either I'm going to get called shortly because the 200 people that were just, or however many it was, the people that were just contacted are doing their builds and submitting their and sending in their deposits. And like I said, if a handful of people decide not to, they'll get to me. Otherwise, I'll be in the January allocation list for fact, because like I said, I'm only like 20 away. So I'll be doing my build in the second week of January when allocations come out for the dealership. And so if the build is done in December, I'll be getting the Corvette around February. If the build is done in January, I'll be getting the Corvette around March. So that's how close we are to that. And like I said, it's quite an interesting process. It's not like buying any other car. It really isn't. And I couldn't comment on buying an exotic. I don't know if this is a similar situation in buying a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or a Bugatti or something to that effect. But it's definitely not like buying any other American-made traditional dealership car manufacturing company. And I'm not talking about like a McLaren or something of that effect. I'm talking about General Motors, Ford Motor Company, Chrysler, those companies. You know what I mean? So it's been quite an experience and quite a roller coaster of highs and lows. Excited at first, and then you're like, oh, I gotta wait months. And then, you get excited when it comes up to it, and then it's like, oh, I didn't get called. And so we'll see how that goes. I'll tell you what's interesting was, so I hadn't been starting my car monthly to keep the battery from going dead, And on top of that, it's the original battery for a 12-year-old car. So the battery lasted as long as it did. But last week I went to start my car because I took my Mercedes to the shop for its annual maintenance. And the Bumblebee was dead. So I didn't have the ability to go get a battery. I didn't feel like calling an Uber, be delivered to the local parts store to buy a battery. It's not that big of a deal to be without a car really for me in that regards. So I just went online, went to O'Reilly's.com and ordered a battery on December 1st. They said that the battery would be delivered to my house by December 7th. So on December 8th, no battery had been delivered. And going on to the website, the tracking number, item hadn't even been picked up out of the warehouse. Still in the warehouse 8 days later. On December 8th, O'Reilly contacted me and said, how's your purchase? Why don't you give us some feedback on how you feel things went? And do you like the product? and the service that we gave you. Please tell us how you feel. So I did. I put in there, don't buy anything from O'Reilly's if you're expecting to get it in the time that you need it. Still waiting. Still waiting. And put on there that I ordered it on December 1st, paid for it. Paid for it to be delivered by December 7th. Still didn't even leave the factory. So this morning, checking my emails, I got an email from O'Reilly saying, thank you for your feedback. However, your review doesn't meet our guidelines, so it's been removed. So if you're buying from O'Reilly, you're not going to get truthful reviews on the product, and you're not going to get the product delivered to you on time. So if you work for O'Reilly's, you know anybody that works for O'Reilly's, pass that feedback on to them. And if you're in the process of making a purchase from O'Reilly's, keep that in mind. Going into the store might be great for you, but don't expect it to be delivered. Freaking Jeff Bezos making billions of dollars off of delivering stuff to your house. UPS, FedEx, Amazon, just talked about that. USPS delivering stuff to our houses all the time. UPS and FedEx all the time say, if it's going to come on December 7th, it's coming on December 7th. Or not. The 8th or the 9th. But O'Reilly's can't even get out of their gosh darn warehouse when they said it was in stock. So O'Reilly's will never ever get my business again. That's a fact. So, just wanted to share that with you. Thanks for the review, but it's been removed because it didn't meet our guidelines. Oh, God. That's the society today. That's society today. Don't judge anybody. Don't speak your mind. Don't use your First Amendment right. It'll be removed. It will be removed. So that's my ranting and raving this morning. How are y'all doing? Toy Mafia, how's it going? Good morning. Save on Maison. Unbox something but didn't was. What was that? Oh, yes, it is. The Vulture. It is. It is. I want to unbox it so badly. I really do. The gosh darn thing is like this big, and I don't have any place to put it yet. And I need to. I've been just procrastinating doing this. Procrastinating, and I need to get with the program. And I so badly want to get this out of the box. So badly want to get out of the box. I really do. So it's my motivation to get to that save on. I'm sorry. I'll be disappointing you and not getting it out of the box today. I'm terribly sorry, guys. I hope that you understand. Carrie, how's it going, man? Welcome back. Welcome back. Jake, how you doing? Dagger Ansis, was really glad you liked the Lindsay Sterling custom figure I made. Good job. One of the things I shared, he made it with he did a real good job kit bashing a Lindsay Sterling and put it on a seamless body. And what I told him was he had the elbows bent. And I said, so two things with this. One, if you can pose it without the elbows bent, you'll be happier because you won't destroy the figure. The figure where these elbows are bent at are going to crease up and get damaged over time. Two, though, since it's a kit bash, since he just used a standard body like a Fison or a Jow, so what if the arms dissolve on you? Buy a new one when it does, put it together. It's not like when you drop $200 or $300 on a seamless Hot Toys and they dissolve on you. It's a whole different story. So, that's in your own collecting as you do that when you're using these seamless bodies, these seamless Jow dolls and Fisons and a couple other companies out there as well that I've seen in the past. I don't own any of them, but I've seen them as a search for seamless bodies. If you want to get the pose, because it's what the story is you're trying to tell, just be prepared that sooner or later you're going to have to replace that body. So then you buy another $60, $80, $90, $100 body, whatever it is, and go right back again to where you're at. So you have to weigh it out. What's more important for you? Is it more important for you to save $60 or $80 or $100? Or is it more important to get the pose right to tell your story? So that was my advice to him. And my advice to all of you as well. But so I saw was Jeff Wayne's Wall of the World. That was amazing. So I saw Jeff Wayne's Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds Oh, Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds. Ah, yeah. Really wouldn't. Good morning. Good afternoon here in sunny Scotland. Woohoo! Cloudy and rainy. Sorry about that, man. Universal Key, how you doing? Good morning. So what I got that I am going to go through, I actually have 3 other boxes as well to go through that I really want to open also. I got to get some room, man. I got these made by Fine Girl. This one is the FG082A, and this one is the FG082B, and what they are a female Spider-Man and a female black suit Spider-Man. Perfect for seamless bodies, since we were talking about that today. When I saw these, I was like, well, that's cool. Problem is I don't have a head sculpt specifically necessarily that I want to use, but I got a lot of bodies. So let's show you what this looks like. I don't know if any of y'all picked this up. Here's the black suit, and it's a little more gray than I was hoping for. Looking at it just out of the package, it's a little more gray than I was hoping for. They did this paint application to it where they put a lot of white in it to appear like shiny or shadows or lack of shadows on it. And, you know, that's interesting and all, but it was their way of doing it. It's a booty, so there'll be no foot coming through. So I would recommend a seamless body if you go on this. Big zipper in the back, and then you would just put a head on there to whatever it is that you want to put here, be it a brunette, a redhead, a blonde, whatever story you want to tell with this. So this is the black suit, and this is the classic red and blue. So what was Peter and Mary Jane's daughter's name? Wasn't it May? Did they name her May after his aunt? Wasn't she May Parker? Don't remember. So here's the red and blue. And we're going to put it on a body today. I don't know whether we need a small bust or large bust. There's definitely material here in the front for the female form, so it shouldn't be any question there. It stretches, so legs length shouldn't be an issue either in that regards. You'll know if the legs are too long if you don't get the crotch in the proper position on the body, but I'm hoping that it would stretch well enough as it is. I'm assuming the foot's going to go approximately here, so that would be the leg length, and that's our stretch about there that we have for that. So I don't know if the animation bodies, which was what, the 44? Was that the anime style Fison body? Got the sheet right here. I'll just look. '37 and '38. The 37 and 38 had the longer legs, right? Is that right? And interchangeable feet anyhow, so it would be passing on that as it is. Probably wouldn't want to go with the probably wouldn't want to go with the 27, 28, 29 either, because that's the shorter bodies. I don't know. Maybe that might be better. I don't think we'd want to go with the big feet, which is the 27 and 28. Probably wouldn't want to go with the big feet, or the 38, 39, which are the big feet also. and the 42, 43 are big feet. So I don't know. I don't think you'd want to go with those bodies. But for seamless, then that leaves us with the 34, 35, which is pale and suntan, medium sized breast, or the SO1A, SO2A, which are pale and suntan, medium breast, SO4, and 6, which is large breast, pale and suntan, and the 7 and 9, which are pale and tan, large breast. So that would be the seamless ones I would recommend, or the jowl dolls that have the F in their description. For instance, the jowl doll says JOQ05, and then the next letter is the one that determines if it's seamless or not. It would have an F. So it's a JOQ05F, and the YS is the skin color. So you would want an F on this if you're going with a jowl doll. So what I want to do is I have this redhead over here. That I think I might want to put it into one of these. Now this is a big feet. I just told you probably don't want to use a big feet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snatch the head off her. Find me a seamless pale body to go with this head. Find you another head. So what is the pale body for the let's just go with the Fison instead of going with the jowl. Plenty of jowls. So let's go with the 34, realistic body proportions, narrow shoulders, long legs. Do we want to go with long legs, 34? Or let's go with the 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, or 9. Slender body, narrow shoulders, slender waist, more curved buttocks, more defined woman's private parts. So let's go with the SO4. Hopefully I have an SO4 laying around. I should have an SO4 laying around. Hope I have an SO4 laying around. I love coming to this not prepared, right? I kind of hope that doesn't bother you guys. It brings the reality to it. Yeah, I know. My friend Shartimus would have a shit. He used to tell me, he's like, dude, frickin' be prepared for your show. Like, yeah, I know, man. I know. Come on, would you really want me prepared? You don't have to answer that. I probably know the answer to that. I probably already know the answer to that. Let's find an SO4. I got a whole stack of Fisons here. 3 stacks of them, actually. Right here. SO6. Another SO6. Problem with that is it's suntan. It's 23, 27, 27. $38, $42. SO7. I use this SO7. Let's set this aside. 17. SO2. Suntan. That's 20. 23. 18. 43. Last stack. 35. 12. 12. 34. 26. Male bodies. Male bodies. Male bodies. Well, let's start with this SO7. What was the SO7? Remember? Pale, seamless, large breast. I like to use my knife to open these, because what I do is I stick it in and then push against this little flap here, like that, just to keep from bending it all up. Not cutting the box, keeping the box nice and tight so it can be closed easily. Let's fasten this bad boy. Of course, a lot of times it's difficult to get the suits onto these bodies. They're very sticky. And I don't mean sticky as in you're going to get residue on your hand. I just mean as you're dragging this material over this latex or silicone or TPE or whatever it actually is, they tend to want to fight each other. So there are many tricks that I've heard people do. Wrapping it in plastic saran wrap is my favorite. You just wrap it over there and slide it on, and then you can leave the saran wrap in it or cut it off, pull it out, whatever works for you. But that's the one that the method that I've used many times. Or I just struggle with it and slide it on. So today I think I'm gonna go with the struggle method. Hope you guys don't mind. So we went with the seamless foot again. Problem is, if you have anything like this, any stockings or any of the stretchy material, if you use a detachable foot, there where that ankle is, it's going to collapse around on that, and you're going to see a big, huge seam there. If you're fine with the seam, then go right ahead and do it. When I bought the Peggy Carter figure that came out by a third party, I don't remember who it was, the body that they included had a detachable feet, and put the stockings on her, and it was just horrible to see that, in my opinion, to see that ankle seam there. The stockings just gathered at it. So one day I used a seamless ankle body for her, and she looks so much better now. So much better. So much better. So there are many instances that a seamless ankle will come to use. The bad thing with seamless ankles is that you're not standing the figure up on its own. There's just this little bitty flat metal plate that they put in there. It doesn't go the entire length of the foot. And so they end up with just not even a centimeter, if I remember correctly, of area to balance itself on, and it's just not strong enough to have the figure stand on its own. So figures not standing on their own, though, is nothing new. So it's not like that's a deal breaker in that regards. Just know that you're going to have to use a figure stand if you're going with a seamless ankle Fison or a jowl doll figure. The jowls are nice because they include a figure stand. Most Fisons do not. And those of you that are new, Fisons are TV leagues. Um, there was a situation with a company that evidently was infringing upon their trademark and using the Fison name. So they decided to change their name to TV League. However, I had been calling them Fison for so long that it's difficult for me to not call them that. So I used the term Fisoning or to Fison a figure to describe the use of a seamless body to kit bash or replace a body on a figure that didn't have seamless elbows, knees, hips, shoulders, ankles. There's a company that made seamless hands, and I don't remember who it was. I don't think they're active currently, but you can find the used figures on eBay and such every now and again. Um, but this is would be an older figure, and as we've experienced many times on these older figures, they start dissolving over time. So I don't know how it would be tracking down one of those figures that has a seamless wrist. I would like to see Fison or Jow Doll make seamless wrist figures. Again, I would imagine you would be in a situation where you couldn't necessarily put anything in their hand. You couldn't put a pistol in their hand or a sword or anything along that line, I would imagine, because you wouldn't be able to articulate the fingers. I would imagine in those situations of if you were to use a figure that had a seamless wrist. But if you're not doing anything in particular with your figure, you don't mind her standing there with just a natural hand pose, why not make it all the more realistic and put a seamless wrist in there? Make it an option. I know there's a lot of people who don't like the seamless ankles. And so they're pretty rare in the first place. For instance, on the Fison list, you heard me name the ones that were seamless. It's not many compared to the detachable ones. And Jow Doll seems to make a seamless for everyone except for the one that I need, which is the one for my Joy Doll. I think it's a Q05 is what I need for that. To be an F. Q05F. If I remember correctly. That's what I need. And I've yet to see one. So. Oh, so did you see the new Catwoman figure? It's been announced, right? A lot of figures are being announced for collectors for outside of the Marvel or comic genre. Lots of figures being announced. It's quite interesting. The amount of figures that are being announced. Plus, I don't know how many of our figures are stuck out there in the ocean on the cargo ships that aren't allowed to dock. And that's a real thing, by the way. Very real thing. Sideshow has mailed to me my... I don't remember. So I've got a Sideshow figure coming. My luck, though, it's probably a figure I already have and received 6 months ago through Big Bad Toy Store or 1/6 Kit. 1/6 Kit is who I got these from, by the way. I know some of you don't care for the store 1/6 Kit. Never really had a problem with them. Personally. Hong Kong-based store. where Hot Toys main store is. There's this little too much material toe here. I'm trying to make it look more natural. Take the hands off before sliding it up these arms. You see the struggle. Obviously, if I'd wrapped it in saran wrap, plastic cling wrap, I wouldn't be having this problem. I love Spider-Man. Anything Spider-Man associated. Spider-Man's my guy. My superhero. Take these hands off here. Getting close to the part where I'll be putting the arms in to the suit. I don't remember if you guys gave me a consensus on what we're doing for Christmas, as in Christmas is on Saturday morning. You know, do we do the show on Saturday or we do it on Sunday? I scheduled it to Sunday, or do we just skip the show altogether? I mean, not like I've got anything going on for Christmas. I've got no family that lives spending Christmas with me. So, you guys are my family. But I don't want to be so rude to pull you away from whatever it is you're doing Christmas morning. And or if you go visit somebody for Christmas weekend, I would hope that you would spend your weekend with them and not log in. So I don't know, I'm considering just canceling that week altogether and just getting back into the swing of things the Saturday after that. It's probably what I'll probably do, to tell you the truth. I do like this. It's looking cool as we're going along on this. I ordered this. It's back on for sale again. Speaking of, what's also back for sale is The Fiend, the Toys era Green Goblin, and Doc Ock, especially with the Spider-Man movie coming out in a couple of weeks. I've got my tickets for that. Doc Ock is in it. And Toys R Us made an unbelievable Doc Ock. I've got it over here in the Detolf. Love it. And Hot Toys didn't do it. Toys R Us did. So maybe save on Maison, because I know you're a villain collector and don't like purchasing third-party pieces. Maybe Hot Toys will make one this time. Who knows? Still, the mystery is, how in the heck does Hot Toys decide what to make and what not to make? And it just doesn't make any sense to me. I can't imagine how they can't make money on them anyhow, no matter. I mean, for real, you know? But Hot Toys might make a Doc Ock only because he's back this time for the new Spider-Man movie. I don't remember the name of the actor who plays him, but the Toys R Us one is great, absolutely wonderful. I've got him displayed in the Detolf, taking up. I think I've got him with the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man though, so I've got him against the wrong Spidey, and I've got the Fiend in the Detolf also, and him and Spidey take up two Detolf locations. Says he's on his glider, of course. It looks really good. So if you missed those, they're up for sale again. I don't remember who it was I seen them with, whether it was 1/6 Kid or 1/6 Outfitters or who it was, but they have them. If you want to add those to your collection, I can't imagine you going wrong. Truthfully, that's my honest opinion of that. You can see my review someplace. I I really need to get in here and label all of my videos like I used to do, so that you guys can know what it is that we're talking about, instead of having to watch the video blindly to see what it is that the video is going to be talking about. I really should. I really should, guys. This is looking sexy. I'm liking this. So far, I haven't had any threads pull on me. Pretty well sewn together very nicely. And of course, I'm bending this, to stretch out the suit. So bending it like this and just rubbing it up, and I'll do the same thing in the back. Bend it up, rub it up. Same thing with the arms. Bend the back, rub them up, just to get it to travel up the suit. It's the object here. It's looking great. God. This is looking great. Was Peter and Mary Jane's daughter, was she brunette or redhead? Do you remember? And her name is May, right? May Parker. I'd like to get a silk. I mean, the whole gamut. I'd want them all. I really do. Got Madam Web. Or no, Scarlet. They God dang it, what's her name? Help me out. Scarlet Spider? No, I don't have a Madam Web. But yeah, I'd like a silk. That was one of was Silk one of his clones? Was that who that was? Or was Silk his daughter? I think Silk was one of his clones. Peter's clones, right? This is looking good, guys. So it's kind of not a bright red, okay? Um, Red's one of those colors where there's like 256 versions of it. I mean, like for real. You can truthfully say that probably about any color, really, when you get down to it. But it's really difficult to get red to be red. Um, I was telling you that I bought this wrestling Spider-Man from the first Tobey Maguire movie that was made by some third-party company. And what was delivered was an orange tennis shoes, orange jersey, and it didn't say orange, it said red when I ordered it. And I was just extremely so upset about this that I've never even put it together. It's just literally in a drawer. But you couldn't say that, well, the suit color was faded or whatever. No, the frickin' tennis shoes were orange too. So Yeah, no. They just totally screwed the pooch on that one. And I say that because I see there's a couple of companies making the wrestling Spider-Man figure again, and totally scared to death to get it because the pictures were red when I bought it 5 years ago or whatever it was. And I don't remember who made it. So be cautious. I'm probably not going to get it again. Probably not going to go down that route and be disappointed and angry to get an orange one. But this red works. Um, kind of a light red. Almost orange. But not orange like the wrestling guy came out orange. This is not bad. I'm ready to put a head on it. You guys can tell me what you think. Oh, let's give her some hands first. In all actuality, truthfully, with this, if you don't have a pale body, seamless, and you're using a pale head, the only thing you're matching up is the hands. So, truthfully, you can't see any other portion of the body. So, you can use any color body you happen to have with the seamless feet, is what I would recommend, and whatever heads you want to use. And don't worry about matching it up. Match your head to your hands. Who cares what body's underneath it? Because you're not going to be able to see it. Oh, my goodness. This looks great. Looking for a base to put her on. We use miles here. Oh, the miles mines. What do you think? What do you think? See the little toe material there? Finagling with that will probably get that corrected. I think she will look good with the Spider-Man collection. No doubt about it. And again, interchangeable body, pose her how you want her. Replace the body when it dissolves away. Hopefully the suit won't. Hopefully the suit won't. spring wrap tip is gold. I agree, Damon. I agree. Seamless wrist would be nice. I agree. Do the show, Toy Mafia. Thank you. I'm good either Saturday or Sunday. Both are good for me. Thanks, Jake. Save on Mason. I hope they make Doc Ock too. Yeah. It's like, have we got cable yet from Hot Toys? Right? So, Toys R Us made a really nice cable. And was it, who made the Spider Gwen? A couple companies made Spider Gwen. And then finally, Hot Toys decides they're going to make a Spider Gwen. So you end up with this struggle. You know, I've had my cable here, or my cable here now for 2 years, and I'm still waiting for the Hot Toys cable. So, I don't know. I don't know. Now I was thinking for this one we'll go with a blonde, only because what comes to my mind is Venom, truthfully, and when uh, Eddie Brock's, was it his girlfriend that put on the suit in the comics because she had cancer or something to that effect, and Venom healed her, right? Wasn't that the story in the comics? So I'm thinking of blonde. Um, I have a what was it called? The Spider Queen, right? Head sculpt, Venom head sculpt, but it's too black. It's too black to put just a Venom head sculpt on here. So I don't think it would be a good fit. I think we'll go with a head sculpt. And like I said, I'm just thinking about a blonde. I don't remember if Mary Jane ever donned the black suit, or if Venom ever attached himself to Mary Jane. Do you guys remember? Got some Fisons here with heads in them. If you remember, for instance, with this S44, for instance, um, if it says the A after it, it comes without the head. So the S44 has a head. So let's see what the head is in it. I have a brunette, short-haired brunette. You guys remember May Parker? Peter and Mary Jane's daughter? Was she a brunette? Because Peter's a brunette, right? Anybody remember? You know what? I'm going to go with this brunette here. Not using its body. We'll use this head. This is one of the anime bodies, more or less. Super slender. Super slender. Sometimes, though, the heads have different connections on the neck. So I want to see what connection is on this. I want to use this head or not. Not sure. Not sure. Definitely won't go seamless ankle for fact. This is not a seamless. That's 44 is not seamless. S45, I think, is a blonde. Brunette, long-haired brunette. Yeah, Q05F YS is what I need. You guys find me a Q05F YS. Let me know. I need that figure so badly. Not seen one anywhere. This is a suntan figure. Black hair. Same style figure as the 44. Just suntan versus pale. Not sure if I want to use this figure. I'm really looking for a blonde. I could use a brunette or a black-haired one. It wouldn't bother me, really. It's a fictional character totally, so I don't remember any of the females wearing the black suit. Did Black Cat ever wear the black suit? They're platinum here. 34. Hey, we got a blonde. And a seamless body. This is the long leg seamless body. With a figure base. So we're using a PHMB 2019 S34A. Let's go with this body. Super long legs. Narrow shoulders. Blonde hair. Figure stand. Seamless ankles. So there, the two versions of this, by the way, but that come with a head sculpt. One has more of a rounded anime eye, and this is the more realistic style eyes on it. By the way, if you remember this figure. We'll take her head off. because I'm pushing on the body to get the suit on. In case you're curious, there's the length of the body and the length of the suit. So we're definitely going to be stretching this suit out. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday, Robert. Good seeing you. Robert, the question I'm asking that I've not had a response back yet from was, in the Spider-Man comics, where they went fast forward several years, because in the majority of the 616 Universe Spider-Man comics, Peter stays right around 20s, never really exceeds like age 30. But there's a storyline where there's a Spider Girl, if I remember correctly, is what she's called, where it is Mary Jane and Peter's daughter. And I think they named her May Parker in honor of May Parker, his aunt. And the question I have, was she a brunette or was she a redhead? Did she take after Peter's side of the family with his brown hair? Or did she get her mother's hair, the redhead, from Mary Jane? And I don't remember. And I don't remember what her name was. I think she was Spider Girl. Oh, fun, fun, fun. Fun, fun, fun. So Forever has passed now. So any of y'all that have been waiting for Forever, we've just been informed that Forever is now officially passed. Forever is gone. The time lapse of Forever, right? Right, Robert? The time lapse of Forever is gone. Robert has exhausted Forever for us. Thank you, Robert. Thank you. What do you guys think of the red and blue Spider Woman, Spider Girl? Does it give you the feeling that you're looking at Mary Jane with that red hair? Did I choose a good body for that? Or a good head? You're going to be picking these up, or did you pick these up? Gosh, I think they were dirt cheap. I started watching Hawkeye. Let's talk Hawkeye. Oh my God. All right. So the name of the show is Hawkeye. Jeremy Renner's in the show. He plays Clint. Oh Jesus Christ, what is his last name? Barton. Hawkeye. Right? Every interaction that we see with Clint and Natasha, or Natalie, whatever she actually goes by. I think Natasha's her real name, right? For as far as she knows. They make a reference to Budapest. So I was truthfully hoping to get a Hawkeye story with the Black Widow, and or even a flashback to Budapest, or anything to give us this story. Okay, because evidently it was such a great story that they would continually comment about it. And I'm kind of under the impression that's where Ronin was first discovered or encountered, was in Budapest. I don't know. I just get that feeling. I don't know if there's anything that backs that feeling up. If it's just a feeling or if it's documented someplace. So that's what I'm expecting to watch out of this Hawkeye show. Instead, what do we get? Oh, we get Hawkeye. We get Clint Barton. We get Jeremy Renner. We get him 7 years in the future. Okay? So in the Hawkeye television series, it's 17 years since the events of Marvel's Avengers, the Battle for New York, which happened in 2012. So it is actually 2018 in the show. They really don't explain that to you specifically because it just says present day. Normally, whenever a show comes up and says present day, it means today. But in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there was a 5-year time span of the blip after Thanos snapped, and then they brought everyone back, and so this is where they are. And we know this because of the other Hawkeye in the show. So about 15 years ago or so in Marvel Comics, they decided to make a female Hawkeye, and she was also called Hawkeye. And so this is the story of Kate Bishop, the female Hawkeye. It's really the story of Clint passing the torch, if you will. So I wish that they would have explained that better. It was really disappointing to plug into that first episode and to find that this is the story. And on top of that, they get a drink. In their decision to use Kate Bishop as Hawkeye, and she's not called that yet, okay, in the show, but that's who she's going to be, obviously. They didn't bother to respect her enough to give her video or screen presence of her origination. Now, let me explain. The first, maybe 30 minutes of the first episode is her as a 5-year-old child. And the Battle of New York, 2012, Marvel Avengers. From a different perspective, it's nice seeing that. We get to see Clint out there kicking some serious bootai. And she's witnessing it. And her father dies, I'm assuming from the Battle of New York, being a casualty of a building or something falling on him. They don't really show it specifically how he dies. And next thing you know, it's 17 years later. Now, in their defense, the little intro that they show, little animated story intro where they're giving all the credits, the pre-show credits, they kind of like show some sort of animation thing of her, excelling in archery and excelling in martial arts, and but it's all animated, and it's not really like images, it's like shadow figures. And so instead of them taking the time to write the story and film it, give her an honest origination. They just kind of said, "Oh, by the way, this is how it went down." So I'm just really disappointed because I was truly expecting a Hawkeye show, a Clint Barton Hawkeye show. So if you're a Kate Bishop fan, you're probably going to love it. If you are truthfully expecting a Clint Barton Hawkeye show, you're probably going to be angry. Yeah, we get a lot of Clint's story. You know, we get some good insight into his character. So he's not left out, but I foolishly expected it to be a Clint Barton Hawkeye television series, period. And I say foolishly because WandaVision was 2 characters, Falcon Winter Soldier, 2 characters, the animated What Ifs, multiple characters. So I don't know why I would possibly think that they would have just done Clint only. You know, naive maybe. But some people don't care for Kate Bishop because she was created during Marvel's woke period of having to replace all the characters with females or people of color specifically to appease people. And again, I don't mind in some instances when they've done that. I think Miles Morales is great. I think anytime they totally redo a character, totally, and don't disrespect the original creation, then go for it. But if you're going to sit there and turn a character into something he wasn't and just kind of like shirk it off, Samuel L. Jackson, Nick Fury, sometimes you have to wonder what the hell the problem is with that. I love Samuel L. Jackson's depiction of Nick Fury. Okay. And he did a great job pulling Nick Fury off. But what the fuck? How did that even go down? You know what I mean? I've accepted Nick Fury in the MCU as being Samuel L. Jackson. No question about it. Captain Marvel, another one. Captain Marvel was a guy. Totally. And when they made the MCU version of it, they decided just to make her a female. So, and I guess you could say, again, where, we stand in that regards is MCU is Earth 199999. Captain Marvel was from Earth 616. Nick Fury, Earth 616. Samuel L. Jackson, Earth 199999. So, like we've discussed about the movie called The One with Jet Li. In every other alternate universe, Jason Statham was also in that, and I think I forget the other actor. It was really great. So I think it was really underrated, really better show than what probably people gave credit to it. But in this show, they had multiverses, and in each multiverse, your representation could be something else. You could be female, you could be a homosexual, you could be black, you could be white, you could be Asian, you could be anything. And we also get that as well with Deadpool in his Deadpool universe. We see that very specifically. And we kind of got a taste of it in the Miles Morales Enter the Spider-Verse show. That anybody could be these alternate universe creations. So, but Kate Bishop was created in Earth 616. And Clint was dead, etc., yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. Anyhow, I didn't expect that to be the story. So I was a little caught off guard. It didn't stop me from watching Hawkeye. I did enjoy the show. Um, you do get a lot of story about Clint and some things we probably didn't know about him. And of course, from my understanding, the main Marvel characters, the actors, for instance, Jeremy Renner and Robert Downey Jr. and Scarlett Johansson, they're tired of playing their characters. They're tired. They're ready to expand their acting skills and take on other roles of other characters, etc. And they just don't want to play these Marvel characters anymore. They're tired of making millions and millions and millions of dollars off of them. So they're ready to retire. And I imagine Jeremy Renner's the same way in that regards. He wasn't in Infinity War because on the set of the film he was making called Tag, he broke, I think it was his wrist or his arm or something. He sprained it or something. He injured it to a point that he was unable to meet his requirement to appear in Infinity War. If I remember correctly, that was the deal with that. So it wasn't him getting out because he's tired of the show. He literally injured himself making the movie Tag. If you didn't know that. And Renner's a local boy, right here in Northern California. He was raised in the city that I live in. Never met him, of course. I have no idea who his family is, how much, if any, of his family is still here in the area. Probably all of them are. I don't have any knowledge of them. But I've always enjoyed his portrayal of Hawkeye. No problem with it. So I am watching it. I've watched the first, I think, 3 episodes. I don't remember. I think they have 4 now. And it's just going to be a little mini-series this year. I would imagine, hopefully, continued on next year. Just like they've done with Scarlet Vision and Falcon Winter Soldier. I will say I was surprised one time in the show, the Hawkeye show. Very surprised. Happily surprised, I would say. And I'm not going to ruin that surprise for you guys. But I'll say, if you remember, we talked about one time before that the MCU's policy has been, for instance, when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. came out, originally back in 2012 or 13 or 14, whenever that was, when that came out, the movies would directly affect the television shows, but the television shows wouldn't necessarily directly reflect the movies. And from my understanding, that's changing now, specifically with Scarlet Vision. And I'm also going to say probably with What If. And I would imagine more than likely with Falcon Winter Soldier. For those of you that have seen those shows, you know what I'm talking about. So I said all that because of the reveal at the end of the last episode I watched, which I think was episode 3, was really a nice reveal. It was really, 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 really nice. I really enjoyed that reveal. So it still gives you some story of Hawkeye. You still get some story of Clint. All right, you get to see more of him and his family. He's a family guy, remember? They didn't even know that he had a family. The Avengers totally kept him off the grid. Totally kept him off the grid. Of course, Natasha knew. Didn't Clint name his youngest one after her? I think. Or was it his daughter? I forget now. You guys remember? So these long legs are really difficult to get this up there. So take that into consideration should you decide to use a long leg body for this. Also, you may want to consider using a darker body. I'll show you why here in a minute. And you also want to consider not using a narrow shouldered body also. I'll show you why that in a minute as well. Looking good. Looking good. Yeah, definitely don't want to use a narrow shoulder. I'll probably swap this out later date for a regular shouldered figure without the long legs. Yeah, definitely not the best choice of figure bodies for this. SO7C worked well, very well. Very well indeed. So let me show you this. So because we went with the narrow shoulders, we got a lot of material bunched up on our shoulders there. And because of the pale skin, you can see the breasts going through the material. So that's why I'd say I would recommend maybe going with a dark skin. Possibly like a Jow doll, perhaps. There's your silhouette. This black is definitely a thinner material, or it might just be because we've stretched it so much with this longer legs. So you can see the skin through the material very well. So I'll probably redo this figure. Not very pleased with this figure for this body for this outfit. Let's get it on a stand. neat little stands that TB League includes sometimes. Has those pegs. Comes with this tall piece. You can put any one of these pegs, depending on where you want your figure to be displayed on the stand, be it to the front, side, back, whatever. And then we have this waist grabber. So I prefer the waist grabbers over crotch grabbers on the female figures. Not necessarily as good as what the Jowl Doll gives you. This should work. You may have to put it around her thigh instead of her waist. So let's see how this works out for her. Definitely the wrong body for this suit. Definitely. So I'll definitely be swapping this out. And there we have the black suited Spider Girl, Spider Woman, Venom. Brunette. Thank you, Robert. I like to think she's a redhead. Seems like it should be, right? I'm thinking the more on Peter's side she is Spider Girl after old. Oh, come on, notifications, go away. I really don't care. Oh my God. How many notifications am I going to get? Jesus. I want to know who Spider Ed's mother is in the Oldman Logan universe. Oh, I have no idea. Covered if Disney not getting it until Book of Boba Fett comes out. That's supposed to be this month, isn't it? Book of Boba Fett comes out this month. Got rid of it after watching Loki. Oh, Loki, man. I love Loki. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you don't have to pay what is it? It's either $12.99 or $13.99 a month. And just get it when you're ready to sit down or have the time to binge watch it. It's not like they're removing the shows from the lineup. So just pay for it when you want it. Get it for a month. A lot of times you can get a month for free or for $1. And just binge watch them. Go for it. You know, enjoy it. But Loki is definitely well worth it for fact. I love the What If. Scarlet Vision was good. Falcon and Winter Soldier left me wanting better than what they did. Of course, the Mandalorian series. Jesus. How can you go wrong there? Thor is not tired. Really? Chris Hemsworth, right? That's his name, Chris Hemsworth. So you got Chris Pratt, Chris Evans. No, Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth, Chris what's Captain America's name? It's like all the Chris's, right? So Chris Hemsworth is ready to continue doing Thor movies. Great. I love him doing Thor movies. Hawk scene for the begins of Endgame uh, was supposed to be at the end of Infinity War. Yeah, because of course he didn't film. He wasn't there. He was unable to film for Infinity War, so we got to see his family get snapped away in Endgame, which is where we got to see Hawkeye again, and which, of course, and I'm sure all of you know this, so I don't need to tell you, but I'll tell you anyhow. It's what drove him to turn into the Ronin, or return as the Ronin, and just start, unleashing all holy hell. Now, one thing I didn't know, and maybe I just forgot this, but it was explained very clearly in the Hawkeye television series, was that his sword that the Ronin used, um, totally retractable into the uh, the hilt of only whatever it is, 8 inches, 10 inches. This giant 32-inch sword, solid steel, able to battle others, just totally retracts into the hilt. Which I thought was really cool, and I was like, I don't remember it doing that in the movie. In game, maybe it did, and I don't remember if it happened with the figure, but it was definitely shown in the Hawkeye television series. I thought that was extremely cool, extremely cool. So the Hawkeye story is still a good story, you know, especially if you're a Hawkeye fan. It's the Kate Bishop story. If you don't have a problem with Kate Bishop, which I really don't have a problem with the Kate Bishop Hawkeye, believe it or not, I just wasn't prepared for it. I didn't expect that to be the story. I didn't expect it to be the Kate Bishop story. I really didn't. And I feel a little God, what's the term? Tricked, more or less. And I didn't appreciate that. I really didn't appreciate that. So, yes, she's called Hawkeye also. So, they're not lying to you in calling the show Hawkeye, with it mostly being about her. And people would probably argue that and say, no, it's mostly about Clint. I'm not going to argue with you one way or the other. It's your opinion on what you think you're taking away from in the show, whether you're seeing a story about Clint or whether you're seeing a story about Kate. So I'll leave that up to you to decide. But I enjoyed the show. I'll keep watching it, obviously. I'm glad Umbrella Academy is over. I'm trying to watch Cowboy Bebop, which I really enjoyed. I think I watched 2 or 3 episodes of that. Not watched the rest of that. Really been enjoying that. It's not a cartoon. It's a live action television series. And I started watching Blade Runner Black Orchid. I only got through the first episode, and I was extremely disappointed. Just haven't had the drive to watch the second episode. I will watch the second episode of, or the rest of the episodes of the Blade Runner Black Orchid television series. It's an anime on, I say anime, it's not really, but it's an animated television series on Adult Swim, or Crunchyroll, I think is the other show that it's on. And if you're a Blade Runner fan, of course, you might want to check that out. Got 15 minutes. I don't got anything else to talk about. Is there anything on you all's mind that you want to discuss, or anything along that line? Or do you have any hints or tips on how to get this excess material off of these toes? Anybody? I would like to know how to handle that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to swap this out right now with this. I think this is a jowl. No, this is a Fison Bigfoot. Let's put a Bigfoot on here and see what we got. I'm not pleased with that figure body. Not pleased with it at all. For this figure. Oh, this head's not going to snap on there. Being a Fison, it doesn't unscrew. We have to deal with that later. I'm just going to take it out, put the big thing on there, but it's not going to work. Assume the same problems with the others. Yeah, small head. Small. I've got head sculpts around here. By the way, I don't know Hawkeye that well from the comics. So, those of you that do would probably really appreciate all of the appearances of characters in the Hawkeye show. So, if you're a Hawkeye fan from the comics, and I mean Clint Barton, Hawkeye fan, um, oh, I just stretched that too far. I heard the material go rip. Lots of characters I had no idea who they were. And they don't really introduce them with a name per se that denotes them as a superhero or villain. So I'm waiting for those reveals as to who they are, because I don't know. I said I wanted to use a darker body for that, didn't I? Let's go with this Jowl doll, JLQ09FBM. Brown skin. Because you're not going to be able to see anything but the hands and the head. So just match the hands to whatever head you're putting on it. And the Jowl dolls have interchangeable sculpts, pegs, head pegs. So you can put different heads on them. Jowl, I think, has 7 or so different body shades. 3 different breast shapes. So definitely more options for the Jowl doll over a TB League. So this is what we're going to go with, this body here. The seamless feet, because it has an F in it. We're going to go with this body right here. Larger breasts. Turn these inside out. Let's use a pin. I've got a pin just smooth, so this one with this rubber grip on it would be better. And that's how you turn the legs back out. Easy peasy. I think I'm going to put my search for Hela, there you go, on hold to focus on all the villains that are coming up. Loki, Taskmaster, Wenwu, Infinity Ultron, and President Loki. President Loki looks good, doesn't he? I wish they would give us like all the Lokis, that made their appearance. I think there's been a few that have been produced by third parties, like the Trickster, right? Wasn't that the classic one? And I hate to tell you, save on me, so I guarantee you, South Toys isn't going to make all those Lokis. So if you want to have a Loki collection, you're going to have to get third party. I hate to tell you. Have you ever bought any third party figures, Savon? Savon is our villains collector. The beautiful thing about our hobby is you can tailor it to your specific tastes. Like I said, there's people that'll buy, one Spider-Man, one Batman, one Superman, and they're perfectly fine with that, just needing one for their collection. They'll have maybe a Mike Myers, maybe a Doc from Back to the Future, because they want to have many different memories to, you know, bring them to their zen, more or less. And then there's those that stick with just Star Wars or just DC or just Marvel, which is kind of where I'm at. Kinda. Kinda. So Save On, for the most part, collects just the villains. Just the villains. And he shies away from third parties. So he's like Hot Toy Sideshow for the most part. And I don't know if he's ever bought a third party for his collection or not. I'd be happy to see the rest of the Black Order be made. I don't remember the name of the guy that's the size of Hulk. I was watching a thing Stan Lee said one time. He said he really liked the fact that the Spider-Man character can be role played by anybody. And I mean, like one of us buying a Spider-Man suit and deciding we wanted to be Spider-Man because he said Spider-Man's covered from head to toe. So you could be anybody. Anybody could play Spider-Man. Any race could play Spider-Man, could role play as Spider-Man because he's covered from head to toe. And he said it was a design feature that they did when they created him in 62. I think it was 62. It wasn't like they're like, hey, let's just go ahead and cover him from head to toe so that anybody could be him when they buy the suits. It just ended up being like a, I hate to say a benefit, but just an after effect of that creation, which worked out good. It made him an anybody character. You know, Anybody could identify with Spider-Man or decide to wear the costume and go trick or treating or role play or whatever, because anyone can be Spider-Man in that regards. Goodness gracious, can't get this hand off. Man, sheesh. Look at that, still on there. My goodness. Holy cow. Chow doll. A lot of bust here. Shoved into this suit. The wider shoulders, definitely an improvement. Definitely. Much better with the darker skin too. Not totally bleeding through the suit. Got to figure out something with this little toe material here. Not putting shoes on her. Can't get the hands back on the wrists. Jeez. Stretch out the hole. There's some neat on those pliers in here. Spread them out. There we go. I have to do the same thing with the other hand. Remember, I could barely get it off. There we go. So these unscrew. These jowl dolls do. And then you can put in a smaller socket to fit the other head. So one feature of the jowl doll figures. And here's a little bag that they come with. 4 other heads, pins. Just matching it up with this body. Little plastic heads pin here. This one should fit. Came off of the Fison body there. The balls seem to be the same size. There's a smaller one. If I can't get this on, I'll swap it out for the smaller pin. There we go. This head's a little small, considering. So I'll probably swap out the head. But the suit fits the body much better. Much better. And there we have that. And I think you'll agree that not so much of the skin is being displayed through the tightly stretched material on the body. And she looks great. Like I said, too small of a head, in my opinion, for this body. But Works for now. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. Really enjoy spending my time with you guys. I hope you enjoy your time with me as well. And I hope this will help you make your decision as to whether or not you'll be picking up one of these figures. Where in the world did I put that white bikini? One piece, actually. Just gonna put it on this figure. Misplaced it. There it is. So I will see you all next week. It seems you all are saying to go ahead and go with the Sunday Christmas weekend. So we'll probably do that. Probably going to do that. Probably. I've already got it scheduled. So just a matter of doing it. Just do it. If you have any questions, just ask, what's his name? Dude from Transformer movies. Dude went crazy. Just do it. Just do it. What is his name? For some reason I got Shane in my mind. His name's not Shane. What's his name? I also did that Indiana Jones movie. Last Indiana Jones movie. What's his name? I don't think he does anything anymore. Man, I'm excited about the Matrix movie coming out. I have to watch all the Matrix movies and the animated movie to remind myself what the hell's going on with the Matrix, because I don't remember. All right, got her back in her one piece. All right, guys, I'm going to cut you loose. Thank you for tuning in. I love you guys, every one of you. I really do. I really look forward to spending my time with you. That's the truth. And I am happy that you guys tune in to me and let me ramble. So I will see you all next weekend. Tomorrow I'm going to go see A Journal from Jordan at the movies. So we'll talk about that next week. I expect it to be a tearjerker. Anyhow, love you guys, man. Peace.